Hello and welcome back to Bolts for Bucks. My name's Stephen Bresnaugh and today I have something super exciting to show you. That's the new Athlon Cronus BTR Gen 2 UHD rifle scope. Now this scope features a 56mm objective for excellent light gathering and image quality, a 34mm main tube so you can get a lot of elevation adjustment out of this scope, and it has a 4.5 to 29 magnification. So 4.5 to 29 times magnification. It has beautiful open tactical turrets and an extra protective coating. So this coating on here is above your normal quality coating. It's a beautiful matte black finish and it's very scratch resistant. Then it has fully multi-coated Japanese lenses. And by the way, this scope is manufactured and made in Japan, although the company Athlon Optics is here in the United States. This one features an Moa adjusting turret and an Moa APLR 5 reticle. However, you can get it in a mil reticle and a mil turret. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the basic specs, and then let's dive in and talk about the fit and feel and what I think about the glass and turrets. So first and foremost, the body is made of 6061 T6 aluminum, and it has an 8.8 to 9 millimeter exit pupil with 3.6 to 3.8 inches of eye relief. So it's got a little bit less eye relief than some other scopes out there on the market, but anything over that 3.5 inch eye relief is suitable and works just fine. And at 29 magnification, this still has 3.6 inches of eye relief, so it does a very good job holding its eye relief. It has 0.25 MOA adjustment, so each click is a quarter MOA on both the elevation turret and on the windage turret itself. It has a whopping 25 minutes of rotation, so one rotation is 25 minutes, so 25 minutes of adjustment per rotation is really substantial. It also has 110 minutes of elevation adjustment in the elevation turret. And it has 64 minutes adjustment in the windage turret. So a ton of elevation adjustment for those extra long or extreme long range shots. It has a beautiful side parallax adjustment knob that goes all the way from 25 yards up to 1,600 yards and then infinity after that. It has a beautiful illuminated reticle adjustment knob built into the parallax knob that has settings all the way from 1 to 11, alternating 1, then off, 2, then off. So it alternates on, off, so you can easily put it on and off. The scope is fully argon purged, so it's fully fog proof. It is 14.4 inches long, which for a scope that is this substantial, that is 4.5 to 29 power with a 56mm objective, that's actually quite condensed and short. It's shorter, I believe, than the Athlon Ares ETR, but I could be wrong. It also weighs 35.8 ounces. So for what it offers, that's not a bad weight. All right, folks, now let's talk about the feel of the turrets and some of the other features. Let me turn the rifle this way so you can kind of see what we're looking at here. You can see that these are exposed tactical turrets. They have a hash mark every quarter MOA and then a number 1 every full MOA or 1 MOA. They go all the way up to 24, then you're back at 0. But up here on the second level of this knob, let me zoom in here, lock the focus, you actually can see it goes 25, 26, 27. So it actually has numbers all the way up to 49 MOA on the dial itself, which is really handy for those extreme long-range shots. Then you can also crank it up here, and you have revolution markings on the scope body below the scope turret, and you have a down and up arrow on the scope body. Then coming over to the windage dial, you have markings every quarter MOA, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And what's cool about this is it goes 1 all the way through to 10, and then it goes back down to 9. So if you go one way or the other, you should be able to easily adjust this and come back to 0 anywhere 1 through 10. Then on the left side here, you have your parallax adjustment knob, which, like I said, goes from 25 to 1600 yards with markings about every 50 yards, and then 100 yards to 1600 yards, and then to infinity. Then you have your on-off switch for your illuminated reticle. Now, let's talk about the feel of these adjustment knobs. The feel on this on-off switch for your illuminated reticle in reticle settings 1 through 11 is very high quality. It has an amazing, great feel to it, a very positive tactile feel. It's knurled really heavily so you can grip it really easily, and it just feels expensive is the best way to say it. And it works great. I love that it has an on-off in between each setting so that you don't have to go a full revolution to get it to turn off again like some cheaper scopes have. The battery goes right into the side here. You unscrew this cap and put the battery in, then close this cap. For me, it was very easy, and it comes with a battery. Now let's talk about this knob here. The elevation knob is extremely tactile. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's super loud, extremely tactile, and I just love it. It feels expensive. It feels amazing. On the top here, you have up-down arrows, 1/4 MOA per click, signification there, and then it opens with an Allen key, and you can remove this cap, and then it has a beautiful, high-quality zero-stop mechanism that's easy to set, so you can set your zero-stop very easily. You can, of course, like I said, it has these hash marks, so 1 hash mark per revolution. Now let's go ahead, bring it back down. It has a whopping 110 minutes of elevation. Let's take a look now at the Windage Turret. Now the Windage Turret is not nearly as tall because it doesn't have those markings past 1 full revolution, but it has markings all the way from 0 to 10 going up, or excuse me, left, and then 0 to 10 going right, which is really handy. And it's got a little bit quieter clicks to it, a little bit quieter noise to it, but just as tactile, extremely tactile, has great knurling on both knobs, easy to grip, absolutely high quality. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the magnification ring. It's marked 4.5, turn it to the right, and it goes all the way up to 9 in about a half revolution. Or excuse me, all the way up to 29.5 revolution. Now, it's very stiff, but not too stiff to operate it. Has a great lip here that comes out so you can really grab it, almost like a fast focus, or excuse me, throw lever. It really has a beefy enough one built into it that you wouldn't really need a throw lever, but you could add one if you needed to. Now coming back to the fast focus eyepiece, of course it has a plus and minus and 0 sign, and it is locking, and it just moves ever so smooth. I mean, it's not too stiff to where you can't move it, but it's stiff enough where it's not going to really move on its own without you wanting it to move once it's set. All right, so I took a look through the glass in the daylight. I haven't extensively field tested it yet. We'll feature videos where I'm using it in the field, hopefully out to 2,000 yards, if not 1,600 yards this summer. But the glass is absolutely amazing from initial impressions. I couldn't find any edge distortion, no chromatic aberration, like just some of the best glass I've ever looked through in my life. Definitely on par or above its price point. And the reticle, which I'll put a picture up here explaining the reticle, but basically it's got a hash mark every quarter MOA, or excuse me, every MOA out to 5 MOA, and then it's marked with the number 5, then a hash mark every MOA out to 10 MOA, and so on. It's a Christmas tree style reticle, I like to call it. Of course, it illuminates, like I said, and you can get a couple different reticles or reticle options with this scope, just so you know. But initial impressions, this Athlon Cronus BTR Gen 2 UHD rifle scope is amazing. It has a beautiful zero stop, beautiful turrets, beautiful reticle, beautiful illuminated reticle that doesn't wash out or have a bunch of glare to it. The glass seems to be absolutely excellent, and like I said, we'll be taking this out hopefully to 2,000 yards this summer. I'll be doing several more reviews on this rifle scope so you guys can get a better idea of how it performs in the field. But I have nothing but good expectations and high expectations for this rifle scope. If you like this review, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to hearing back from you.